I'm lucky to have a rock of a husband and a strong faith.
Nicole Kidman is one of the most famous and successful actresses that has ever worked in Hollywood, and she somehow managed to find a husband who is doing equally well in another side of the entertainment industry. Country music megastar Keith Urban. This celebrity power couple have lived a surprisingly reclusive life out of the public eye. But let's see what we really know about their relationship, and if it's actually as perfect as it appears to be on the surface. Nicole and Keith have always been pretty secretive about their relationship, but in 2021, Nicole gave us some rare insight into their marriage, which at the time was already in its 15th year. He was on Australia's Today Show to promote her movie Being the Ricardos, which is ironically enough a movie about a celebrity marriage that seemed perfect on the outside, that of Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz, who played Lucy and Ricky on the hit TV show I Love Lucy. The Today Show entertainment editor Richard Wilkins made a comment to Nicole that she and Keith, who were both 54 at the time, seemed like the ideal couple. Specifically, the host said that they were the pin-up couple for making it work. Those seemed like nice words on the surface, but Nicole was quick to jump on them and make sure the viewers at home understood the difference between fantasy and reality, because not everyone is Lucy and Ricky, even if it seems that way from the outside. Nicole said that neither she nor Keith wants to be anyone's pin-up couple. They don't want to be anyone's anything. All they're concerned with is being a couple that has a great life together. Nicole went on to add that her marriage shouldn't be an archetype. In fact, no marriage should be an archetype, because every relationship is different. Every relationship has different things that make it work or could break it into a million pieces. And modeling a relationship after someone else's is a waste of time, because it means you're not focusing on your partner and their needs, not to mention your own needs. And without that attention, even if it's great on the surface, all it is something that looks nice but is probably broken underneath the surface. Nicole went on to add that everyone has the right to their own relationship, and ideally that relationship is a happy one, because if it's not, honestly, what are you doing with your short time on this earth? Nicole said there's a good reason that she's not out in public with her marriage all the time. Clarified that both she and Keith have been extremely protective of their little bubble that they've been lucky enough to create for themselves. And what works for them is simply what works for them, not some kind of textbook for other people to study. Interestingly enough, this interview where Nicole finally decided to break the silence about their marriage didn't come out of nowhere. It was right after Keith said something that's honestly so sweet and touching. He revealed that marrying Nicole was one of the single greatest accomplishments of his life. I hope he wasn't just saying that because she's the reason for $250 million in their bank account. Keith was on Living and Learning with Reba McEntire when he was asked about his biggest achievement. He didn't hesitate to deliver the goods. He said that despite all his success as a singer, songwriter, performer, and businessman, nothing compares to marrying the right person. He said that getting married for the right reasons is everything in terms of laying down the foundation for a happy life. And if you don't have happiness at a core level, all the money in the world won't put a smile on your face. Keith also said that getting sober for the right reasons, doing it for yourself and nobody else, 15 years prior was a huge turning point in his life. And it happened to coincide with his marriage. So it seems like he made a lot of good decisions around that year. The couple really seem to be doing something right because they've been married since 2006 and they have a lot to be thankful for. Specifically the two children they share, Sunday Rose and Faith Margaret. Nicole has two children from her previous marriage to celebrity actor Tom Cruise. At the time of their first child's birth, Nicole and Keith said in a joint statement how blessed and grateful they felt to be given the gift of such a beautiful baby girl. Then when they had their second child through a surrogate, Nicole said that her dream of having a big family with Keith was finally coming true. Sometimes a house full of kids can put stress on a marriage, but in this case, it seems to have made them stronger. Nicole's only regret is that she didn't meet Keith until later in her life. Apparently she wishes they had met earlier and had, in her words, way more children. Nicole said she wished she could have had 2 more kids with Keith, but apparently Keith told her to quiet her wanting mind. According to him, he's just trying to be grateful for what they have. That's a good attitude, because when you're always thinking about what could have been or what should have been, you're not living in the present and being appreciative of what's in front of you. And nothing lasts forever. So make sure you're enjoying it and really taking it in while you can. But even though part of Nicole wishes they could have gotten married and started building their family earlier, she also said that meeting him later in life was the best thing that's ever happened to her. Because obviously she would never want to do anything to lose the 2 kids she had from her previous marriage. But also, who is to say if the marriage would have worked if they met when they were younger? The right thing when it's not the right time is not the right thing. It takes age and maturity to realize that lesson. And now, all these years later, Nicole knows that Keith is the best thing that's ever happened to her. And just because the two have kept the details of their marriage mostly private doesn't mean that they're afraid to show the world how much they love each other. In March of 2023, when they walked the red carpet together at the Oscar, they put on a real show for the cameras. They had everyone flashing their bulbs from the press photographer line as they kissed passionately and held hands. Keith has said that even though he got sober, he still slips up and makes the occasional mistake. Nobody's perfect, but he's learned how to correct himself, and he credits his wife and his relationship for that. Ultimately, he loves Nicole more than any bottle, and he wants to set a good example for his daughters. Even if he's not sure if he's always getting it right, we'll never know for sure if Keith and Nicole's marriage is really as perfect as it seems on the surface. All we know for now is that it works for them, and they seem to be happy, and that's honestly good enough. What do you guys think about all this? Do Keith and Nicole really have a perfect marriage? Is it okay to be sober and still slip up every now and again? Should Keith and Nicole adopt another child if they want an even bigger family? I mean, they definitely could do that, but maybe Keith has a point, and they should focus on what they already have. What do you think?